Well, I've been playing around with these 12 gauge with this Ballistic products crimper. That's supposed to put a roll crimp on. And I have to say it does work where I've run into a problem. It works fine if you're cutting one back all the way, to get rid of any of the residue of the old crimp. You have a regular star crimp. Because what happens in that case, what I've been doing, I've been loading, full load, putting these card wads on, cutting off about this much of the old crimp, and then trying to roll crimp them. And it doesn't do a good job. I mean, it works. It's certainly workable, but you can see where the pleats are from that old crimp. Now, if I shorten it completely, like for these slugs, well, then it'll put a pretty decent crimp on there. And these slugs, what it is, it's these that go inside a wad, and then I'm cutting the wad down to the level of the top of the slug, and then rolling it. And that works because then you've got the cushion part in there yet. But I did, from the same outfit, I got some of these are gas seal wad. That's just a short wad, and they are actually stackable. So you can put one on top of the other, if you need to get that right height, to build up and give a little more cushion in there. Though they do also sell these 1/4-inch cushion wads that are like a felt. So that's workable in there too. But I also got a bunch of the card wads that go over to load these shot ones. Now, I loaded by using just one of these gas seal wads and then a card wad over the top. I was able to load a full load in a regular shortened up shell that's just a little bit longer than what the minis are. So I think I can load, I'll be able to reload these minis and put the regular crimp on them and stuff, trying to make them look just like this. But by using these gas seal, because that's pretty much what's in there, what comes in there is just a regular gas seal. No pedals or anything, and no cushion on it, just a straight seal. So I can make that work and I'll put a cardboard over the top, but I'll do this kind of a crimp. But I can shorten some others up and do this roll crimp on them. Okay, as far as the crimper goes, like I think it would work excellent if you had some like 3-inch that you were making 2 3/4 out of. That would work. Or new. But otherwise you end up shortening them up, which ends up lightening your load. But it's workable. But I can crimp these and end up with a regular good load too. It's just I like to be able to use that card wad so I can write on it. Makes it nicer. Okay, as to the crimper itself, now this particular model has 1 pin in it and sells for like $30. Now the other model has 2 pins in it and sells for $40. Well, I would think. Now, I was screwing around just with this regular cordless drill. Eventually, I'll set it up to do it in one of my drill presses. I think that would work better because what happens with the 1 pin, as you're crimping it, it's going to want to start to wobble, because of that 1 pin. Well, 2 might be a little easier if you're going with a handheld drill. With the drill press, it wouldn't matter, but I think, it's kind of funny because when I read reviews on them, most people seem to have trouble with the 2-pin one. I don't know why that is. Or it could be they just sold more of the 2-pin. I don't know. But this does work. It takes a little while to warm up. But if you just take it easy and let it build up heat, because it will get hot from turning it, it'll fold them over. But like I say, the only problem I had was if you have with the pleats in them, you can't get rid of them pleats. Now, if there was a way a guy could heat them up and kind of iron them flat again, which isn't impossible. I could make a mandrel that would do that, that would heat them up and take the crimp out of them. But it's workable, because what I'm trying to do, I can keep just crimping regular star crimp on these, but I would like to put a roll crimp on, but I'd have to find some 3-inch hulls, and that's not impossible either, because I'd like to keep the full length for my regular loads that I use. But I think these shorter ones now, like I say, they're just a little longer than the minis, and I really can't shorten them up any. But I'll have no problem feeding them through there. I might have to use that adapter, but that's not a problem either. But I get a slug of these in there, and that's a full power load of 5-shot. Though these, I'm going to have to pick up some buckshot to reload these minis, I think. But ones that I'm going to come up with some of my own mix of stuff. I do like the card wads though, and like I said, the Crimper is good. The company actually makes some pretty good wads. I got some of this stuff I was able to buy locally. Some of it came from Midway, but it's all Ballistic products. Yeah, not bad. But I like the card wads, because even when I do the star crimp, I'm going to use those card wads. They're just an overshot thing. They work very well. I think it'll crimp a little better even just with the regular crimp. But like I say, this looks fine. This looks workable. But I'd like to get them a little bit shorter. But that ain't much shorter. And I could probably, if I lighten the shot load a little, I could bring them down some, but I don't know that I want to do that. But we'll see. It's an experiment. I'll keep playing with them. But all in all, I'd say it's good to find this company. This was recommended in the comments by a few different people. And this tool is a good actual solid tool, because some of them that I've seen advertised were like made of plastic and stuff. Well, I didn't want to get involved in one of them. I could just see that could be a problem. This is a good solid steel tool. So I got no qualms about this. I would be curious to try one with the 2 pins in it. But I especially think with a handheld drill, I think you'd be better off, because these do, as it goes around, it gets a wobble. Now, that won't affect it in the drill press, but doing it by hand, not everybody has a drill press. I have to have a couple of them, but one of them I can set up just for doing this, because it's adjustable in the throw, so I can get them consistent. But it's interesting, fun to play with. But not a bad tool though. Good solid tool. Does a heck of a job, except on, like I say, this that's already been pleated. That suffers a little. But I'm happy with it.